So the other day, I was just on YouTube and I think I watched or I saw some video on Rage, and it was like on the history of Rage, and it had a ton of views, and I didn't realize people were like that interested in Rage. And it was talking about like the rise of Rage and how Rage became like this huge genre, and it was a little older because if you're listening to any type of music now, Rage is like the most burnt out, like least wanted to be listened. Like no one wants to listen to Rage at this point, really, and most artists don't even want to listen to Rage. But like two and a half years ago, everyone was making Rage. It was like the new cool thing, you know what I mean? So let's talk about it, how it came up, its peak, and where it really fell off. So the real beginning of Rage is when the beginning of Rage is kind of thought of as like when Trippie Redd previewed his snippet Mr. Rage from his room, and it was like, I don't even know how to make it. It was like, I don't know how to make the melody sound. It was like some crazy EDM thing. But after that, everyone started calling it like this new subgenre, Rage, and we'll talk about that later. But the real beginning of Rage to me was like Pure Born, and Pure Born, and I'm sure there are other producers in the past who had like used that sound, but Pure especially, because he had used like those synth pads and stuff, and he had beats where Rage was like more I wouldn't say it's a Rage, but like it could like pass as Rage for what it is today. And the producer Lusso, he used a lot of like Pure Born drums in the Mr. Rage beat, so it was definitely inspired by Pierre, you know what I mean? So I would say that's where it really started with Pierre. And I guess Pulse 1469, like that beat, that's not like Rage, but you get what I mean. It's like still like a synth sound, and Pierre's got a ton of stuff with Cardi that you could definitely say as Rage. The melody's not as like overwhelming, but it's still like kinda, you can hear it. Anyways, let's skip all of that because that's a bunch of like, did he start it, and like just gonna pay your homage and move on. But anyways, one day Trippie Redd, I think he had just sold something. He wasn't doing great. His emo stuff was starting to like feel burnt out. He would just drop like a 30-song album, and people would be like, really dude, come on man, please. But he previewed the snippet and it just went ballistic. I don't even know what it was about it. I think it was just the beat. So shout out to the producer Lusso, because that beat was crazy, man. Anyways, before he could even drop the song, the snippet went insane, just so viral on TikTok and social media. I remember all sorts of underground rappers were like remixing it. By the way, this is super random. I think one guy named Chulo remixed it, got like 1 million plays. Not a million, it got a ton of plays. Like everyone was remixing it. I can't think of other names. I just remember that guy. I wonder what happened to him. But anyways, Mr. Rage was picking up steam like crazy. However, Trippie Redd may not have been the first person to start it, because some fans actually argue that it was Travis Scott's prodigal child, Sofaygo. I can't believe I just called him Travis Scott's prodigal child. I'm just messing around. But a lot of people, they think that Sofaygo started Rage, and it's because he had this song called Off the Map where it was basically Rage. I forgot who produced it, but I mean, it was kind of like Rage, and it was before Trippie Redd's Mr. Rage snippet. And I don't even know if Trippie Redd heard that. I think he might have heard it, because, Trippie Redd is always like prowling in the underground. You know what I mean? Some fans don't like him for that, but he definitely was tapped in and had his like pulse on Sofaygo. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he was copying it or not, but Sofaygo had been previewing Mr. Rage, Off the Map, off of his album before Pink Hearts. He was playing it at shows, blah blah, etc., all that stuff, and it had a lot of hype for itself too. However, a lot of people say he took too long to drop it. Little did they know that he would take 2 years to drop Pink Hearts and absolutely flop, like one of the worst flops ever. But I'm over it. I know it may not have sounded like it, but I'm over it. It was never that serious. But Trippie Redd kind of like ran. You could say he ran with the sound. I wouldn't say he ran with the sound like that, but there's a good chance he saw that. I don't think he was like, man, I'm just gonna copy this straight. He definitely did way better, but it happened. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, that was it. Mr. Rage kept going up on TikTok everywhere, and when a snippet goes up on TikTok, you gotta capitalize. And Trippie Redd, that's exactly what he did. Not only that, he put Playboi Carti on it. That was huge. Carti and Trippie have this super weird relationship. Like, they've been cool for a long time, and Trippie's been accused of copying Carti's poses and drip or whatnot, but they seem to be cool, or they were cool back then, and they probably still are now, by the way. And Carti hopped on it, and when they dropped Mr. Rage, that was definitely like the rap song of the year. Not even close. It was definitely the rap song of the year. I feel like, I played it decent amount. It was just like Trippie Redd's hook was pretty hard. His verse was cool. Carti's verse was cool. It was just like this new sound. Everyone was like super excited about it. And it was just a big song. It was a hit song, you know what I mean? And Trippie Redd, it was kind of like this comeback for him. Everyone was saying, man, you just keep doing this emo rap stuff. It's not hitting the same. Your voice is changing, blah, 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 blah. You know, there's a lot of like stuff about him, and you know, it's kind of returned now, but he proved everyone wrong with that song, and afterwards he capitalized with an album, Trippin' Night. He got his first Uzi feature. Him and Uzi had a little beef back in the day. You know, he loved Uzi though. And it was just like all rage beats, and that album burnt out the sound so quickly, or it was the start of the burning out of the sound. The sound started falling off so much after that, because I guess people just view Trippie Redd as corny. So like the moment Trippie Redd started running with it, it just like ruined it, I guess. Like I think Rage could have had like it could have had like more longevity, but at the same time it probably wouldn't have been as big with Trippie Redd. But you know, that's just how like bands are, especially underground fans. So after he dropped Trippin' Night and essentially dropped an all rage album, it was pretty big in the underground. Like I remember like rappers would be like, send beats, but please don't send rage, stop sending rage. Like for a little while, like every producer was making rage, because I guess the beats just weren't that hard to make. Not every rapper, but a ton of rappers were hopping on rage. I will say though that a lot of underground rappers, like they kind of like innovated on the whole rage thing, and I won't say they made it their own, but they definitely like did their thing, you know what I mean? They didn't just hop on the most basic rage beat, but it lasted for like a grand total of like 1 year. Like rage was a thing for like 1 year, and ever since then it's just been completely dead. Like no one wants to hop on rage. You don't really hear anyone speaking about it. By the way, rage isn't like some subgenre that like was that big either. It was a moment, you know what I mean? It was like a moment. It was like a flash in the pan type thing, you know? But after that, it just like, it didn't even sizzle out. It was just gone. I can't think of anyone who was super tuned into rage, to be honest. Like name one rapper that's still trying to make rage type stuff. I think like Cash Dami, not now, I'm saying I think he dropped some rage stuff too. His song with Trippie Redd, I think, and there was just so much rage. And I think Internet Money was making a bunch of rage beats and stuff. You know how it is, like it just got burnt out really, really, really fast. So here's where something, you know, I wanna ask you guys about, and I was kind of thinking about, what if someone like Trippie Redd does that to Jerk? Like, would that like prematurely kill a subgenre like it kind of did with Rage? By the way, I'm not accusing him of stealing Mr. Rage from Sofe Goes Off the Map, but I'm just saying, like, you know, what if like a big Jerk song, like, by the way, this isn't real Jerk what's being played right now. It's like Jerk was like a dance move back in the day. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm not even joking when I say I don't know if you guys know this. Like a lot of people do not know this. It was like, how well can you jerk? It was like this challenge. Even like a couple 2-3 years ago, it was like going up on TikTok again. People were like, can you jerk? You know, there's that one song. But anyways, just like this new Jerk, I feel like if there's a big song, I don't know why, but like whenever there's like a really big song that takes like, I don't know, underground elements, it doesn't actually help the underground all the time. Like sometimes it just kills it. And to me, it's because it kind of like eats up all the market share or whatever you want to say. And it doesn't even have to be someone stealing or not stealing, like just capitalizing off of someone else's sound. Just think like Yeat type beats. He had something completely new, but I will say this, like, you know how Lunchbox has new jazz? Because Yeat had his sound and his blow up, like Lunchbox will never be able to have the shock factor that Yeat had, or he's also just not as good as Yeat, period. But I mean, you know, he can't stand out anymore because to most average listeners, they're just gonna be like, this is knockoff Yeat. There's nothing special about this. Like new jazz, like they don't care. Like you think they care? I don't know why Lunchbox caught another stray. That's like the second time this month. Actually, I don't know if that's the second time this month, but he definitely caught one before. I remember. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Let me know what you think. I'm curious. Did you like Rage? Do you want to have it see a comeback? I don't think anyone wants to see it come back, but did you agree with what I said about like the genres in the end though? I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, take care. Bye. See you tomorrow.